You ready?
Go.
Call roll, please.
Daring,
Yep.
Sorry,
Yes.
Schoenwald. Here. Jaden, Elizabeth Weltner. Here. Charlie Weltner.
Present.
Okay, before we get into minutes and vouchers, Chad Heavy's here. We want to finish off this bill from Menning and so forth. Blaine, do you have any questions?
Okay, so, trying to understand the blacktop, and I got your bill in for
Yeah, Chad, I'm
blacktop
sorry. Thank you.
paving. And,
For blacktop or for many?
well, from blacktop here, because we were questioning if we were gonna get billed for any more, and it shows that we did not. That, you know, for the use of Canodal's equipment. It didn't pass the roll test from my understanding or something, so blacktop turned the soil and repacked it. You aware of that, or?
Yes, Chad Eby with Stockwell. And so when we split the project into two separate contracts, we included that line item, scarify and recompact, just for that main reason.
Okay.
So that when it transitioned from, let's say, Menning's responsibility over to Blacktops, there was a line item there for them to go in and scarify and recompact, so they had the subgrade where they wanted it. So
And
that's what was done the day they rented the equipment from Kelly.
Sure. And that was the gray area we were unsure of.
Nope.
That was.
Fair enough.
So you answered that. And I'm just gonna ask this, because I'm not an engineer. I'll just be blunt with you there. But, the Kelly doing some of the dirt work out there, he brought this plan in, and he drew in yellow kind of where he's at with the grading. And should it be, the grading limits is the dotted red line there? Is that where it should have been?
What sheet are you?
Here, this, G5, I think is what it is here. So my question, I guess, when you get there, Chad, is, is that some work that maybe should have been done that wasn't by Menning? Did you find it, or?
I gotta look at this other.
Okay,
I gotta make sure I have the right sheet you're looking at. For some reason, I don't have a G5, which is,
Okay.
but I think you're talking about something similar to
Yes, yep.
this sheet here.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, so it says grading limits, and to me, that, I would think that would be where Menning would have gone to. or-
Okay, so that was the ultimate grading limits for the project.
Okay,
And let me just, if I may, walk back here to probably a year ago, if not further. And so there was a budget, whether it was 800,000, I don't know if that was the number. But we had discussions that there's three things we needed to have lots ready to sell. One was infrastructure, the underground infrastructure. One was the surfacing, and one was grading done on the lots. And so in the grading plan, the overall grading plan, we calculated we needed probably 25 or 30,000 yards of dirt.
yep, 30,000 at a,
And we realized that we didn't have a fraction of that on site. So then we looked at, okay, now we gotta haul in, if we're gonna accomplish all three of these, we gotta haul in 25,000 yards of dirt. And so at that time, we're thinking, okay, if it's $10 a yard, that's $250,000 on top of the project.
Okay.
So then we said, when I say we, I'm talking about the mayor and whoever else was involved with the project,
okay,
that if we need these three things, the two things we absolutely have to have to be able to sell the lots is infrastructure and the surfacing. Because if we don't have that, we don't have, I mean, we can't sell a lot. And so the thinking was, we'll take that $250,000 or $300,000 of clearing the entire site and removing all the trees and hauling all the dirt in, and we'll make sure we get the grading in, or the infrastructure in, the surfacing in, and then we'll, as things progress, lots sell, there's some funds available to, grade the rest of the lots as lots sell. We did talk about as well of maybe building half of the subdivision, but again, the decision was made that they wanted to have the infrastructure it all in for the entire subdivision.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm not aware of them meetings or, communications, but, and again, bear with me here, because I'm not an engineer, and I don't know how to read these plans that well. But if you're bidding a job, and then would that not have been bid on, put in the bid, even if the dirt, let's say the dirt wasn't there, would the bidder assume that he would be needing to haul dirt, or?
We didn't have any, we estimated that there was, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 yards on site.
Okay.
And that was enough, we hoped, to grade
Yeah, the lot.
the roads, not the lots, just the roads.
Yep, so from here.
And so as we started heading west with removing black dirt, there were some areas where there was probably 3 feet of black dirt. And so the more black dirt we took out to build subgrade for the road, the clay that was on site, we quickly went through. So then the decision was made, okay, we need to haul in clay from the landfill and place that to build the road subgrade. So then a change order was executed to pay Manning to haul and place material from the landfill, enough to bring down and build the subgrade just for the road.
So Manning actually did go out to the landfill and got some, huh?
Yeah, if you, there was a change order. If you have Manning's bill in front of you, it's on item 55, where they hauled in 3,165 cubic yards of dirt to build the road subgrade.
Okay. For $17,407.
And I will say, at that time, we had a very good price for
Sure.
hauling that dirt in. And also, now, and I don't know how much excess dirt has been hauled from the other project out there.
Yeah.
But that is another thing that.
Not near enough.
Well, not near enough, but
it helped.
it worked out because,
Yep.
There's gonna be, they'll be digging basements and there'll be some dirt available from that, but.
Okay.
Would there not have been any possibility of an alternate design that wouldn't require near this much fill and this much dirt? Because, you made everything run to the east, and the natural flow of that would have been to the northwest.
Well, the sewer had to go that way.
I understand the sewer, but
And I guess the question is, we could have went lower potentially,
because there's 6 foot of grade between the entrance and the back end there,
We-
and that's less than a quarter mile.
we potentially could have went lower, it just
That's-
probably would have meant that the basements probably wouldn't have been sewerable, or they would have had to use pumps. Because the sewer wouldn't have been deep enough. Because as we went that way, the sewer still has to come from west to east,
Right, but
and we're going east to west. And then we would have had to,
I don't know what the elevation of the sewer on the intersection is. I admit that, I don't know. But everything south and east of there runs into there.
but the sewer you agree the sewer all had to run from the west end to the east end.
Yeah.
So if we would have started grading everything to drain to a different direction, we still would have been kind of fighting each other with the sewer. And at some point, the sewer would have been probably as we got out there, the lower levels of these houses would have had to been pumped up and then into the sewer system.
Can't prove it or disprove it.
Well, we could,
No,
I
that's,
can't disprove that.
no, you answered my question regarding the grading limits there, Chad. You know, I don't know of any other,
One of the other things you were asking about were the trees. So was any tree removal included in the bid?
so there was, the clearing item was for
vegetation.
vegetation. There was some trees, I believe, Dwayne, by the building that were taken out, and so that clearing is just kind of a general item for grass, weeds, stuff that we're not gonna put back into the project.
Okay.
I think it's like a $5,000 line item for clearing, so that kind of.
Wasn't much for trees then, it was.
Right,
just been
exactly, so.
Shrubs, scrubs.
Yeah, and if you're looking at it prior to any work being done, 10 and 9, that vegetation and trees did approach way up onto the property, and that's all was done.
And when we originally looked at, potential of moving the trees, we would have done it, we would have never done a lump sum, we would have done, most of the time it's done by tree. But in that instance, it's probably so thick out there that we would have done maybe a clearing per square foot or square yard or acreage. Because it's just, it's so dense, and then we thought, we talked about too, okay, where do we start with trees, where do we stop? Some people, at the end of the day, may want all of them gone, some people may want some of them as a shelter belt, as a windbreak, as a snow fence, and so, that's when the decision was made, we'll just leave them alone.
So ultimately, those trees don't need to be cleared to grade the lot appropriately, or do they?
I think some of them have been removed and had to be, I would say, had to be removed kind of as you got to this,
Yep.
this end here,
Right in there.
towards the west end.
That's where
But,
the drainage ditch will go there, and they'll let it.
but it just depends on, I think, the people that buy a lot, how they're gonna put their house on it. They gotta be 25 foot back from the property line, or the right-of-way line is a setback anyway. And then it comes down to, okay, do we wanna take 5 feet of trees, do we wanna take 10 feet?
But that's not something that we need to do before we sell the lot. That's ultimately whoever buys the lot's responsibility to make the decision on the trees.
I believe so. I mean, and we had the discussion too that, as far as I was concerned, we knew that the lots were not gonna be build ready. And I know I had suggested that if they're not build ready, then you need to, probably let everybody know that they're not build ready. There has to be some dirt hauled in, and everybody needs to understand that.
Is that pretty typical wordage for a
I think
project like this?
I think it depends. This is relatively a small project, and, a lot of times when these subdivisions are happening, they might start at 40 acres, but they might do a 15 or 20 acre parcel, but usually like when they do the large sites, they look at the entire site, they balance the dirt, they try to balance it so that we don't have to haul dirt in. But this instance, there just wasn't a lot of, it was extremely flat and.
Well, there was some trees removed in it, and it made the lots look so much better already, and without too much effort there, but I did have one other question regarding that, call it a hammerhead, T.
The turnaround.
Whatever. We had an extra cost on that of $1,900. So if you can explain that.
Yeah, so when I realized that, it was late in the project, it might have even been the day that they were maybe ready to pave, is when I realized that the gravel for that hammerhead or that turnaround had not been done. So then I did talk to Menning about it, and he said, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do it. Him and I had a conversation about, was it part of the project, was it or wasn't? I said, I think it is part of the project. He argued that it wasn't. I then took it upon myself, and And I looked at the situation and I said, okay, well, there's a contractor here with equipment and a dozer. And that's when I reached out to the mayor to reach out to Kelly to say, can we find a solution here where the work gets done in short order? Now, you did not pay, or if you pay Menning tonight, you did not pay him to do that work. Because he,
Would have it been in the bid, though? That'd be the question, if it would have been in the initial bid process, you know, so we're not paying for something that maybe is oversight.
it would have been, but what complicates it is now when it was time to do it, there was dirt on site. If he would have done it last fall, he would have hauled dirt in at this $5.50 a cubic
Right,
yard,
yeah.
and you guys would have paid him whatever the cubic yardage was, whether it was $1,500 or $2,000 worth of dirt. That's what you would have paid him to haul it in. But you didn't, that dirt he hauled in was not, you didn't pay him to do it, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
You, instead of paying Menning, you paid, or you will pay Kelly.
Okay, so this, what you're saying, this change order would have been increased by X amount?
We would have had to add so many cubic yards of dirt to that, and we would have added that on there
Because it wasn't on site?
because it wasn't on site. But when it got time to do the work,
Uh-huh.
the dirt
It
was
gone,
there.
It was gone, yeah.
I mean, the dirt was, you know, at the time when it happened, the dirt was there. Kelly was there with the loader and the compactor, and it just made sense as far as a solution to me to keep the project going, to have him, see if he would do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So in my opinion, we did not pay Menning to build that subgrade.
Well, see, this is where everything here starts and where everything gets to be a problem in fuzzy areas, that there's so many, my understanding is I expected to see a completed project that reflected the plans that we were given. And here, there's all kinds of things that, well, this isn't included, that isn't included, this isn't part of the bid, this is part of the bid. We don't know what those things are. I want to know, and the taxpayers want to know, how much more does it need? What's it going to cost to finish this to the plan?
To the grading plan,
Yeah.
I don't know how much dirt has been hauled in.
Charlie, he was in here, and I don't know when, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, could have been a year ago. And when we discussed all this, and he's already spoken to it. And that is, the elevation thing, we knew was gonna get lopped off. We talked about that. We got a bid, a very nice bid from Menning, as I recall. And then he backed out of the bid, as I recall.
You mean to haul the additional dirt in?
Right. And we were saying, oh, okay, we're gonna take that, and then he backed out of that bid. We felt that when the project got done with phase 1, phase 2, that we could do it cheaper locally, quite honest. I mean, we could work a deal more than, than Menning would do it. And that's why that got lopped off and so forth. And so, what we need to do, though, is we've got a bill from Menning that we pushed off, and I understand, and I want to answer your question, too. That's what I want to know right now, is if Menning's bill is clean enough that we can finish off paying. I thought there was tree cleaning on there,
Yep,
and there's not. I shared that with you, I think.
Yep.
That was my thing, because, hey,
And-
and I would have swore that it was on there. I re-looked at the bill, and it's just cleaning,
Yeah.
and that was answered.
Chad's answered my questions, I understand. It's just that, my perception, I guess, was that I thought that would have been included. Like I said, I'm pretty green at this,
And we all thought it was included.
So that's been, I guess it's been a lack of communication between us and the council, and, so it just, some things just fell.
If I may, I will say that Menning was extremely responsive when it came to and Dwayne could attest to this as well. When Blacktop was adjusting the manholes, there was a manhole that was, they had put the wrong, they'd put a, let's say a 3-foot barrel section instead of a 4-foot in. And so that manhole was a foot low, and Benning came down at, I don't know, it was nighttime,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
and raised that. We argued and argued and argued, Nick and I did, about getting manholes raised, fire hydrants extended to the proper elevation. We argued about one getting moved back away from the curb and gutter. I can tell you, we had some very uncomfortable conversations, and I did hang up on him once, and he hung up on me once. But at the end of the day, he came and took care of the hydrants. And so I also, we asked Menning this year if he would honor that $5.50 price. And in my opinion, with the way things, first of all, the change order was for estimated at 2,400 yards of dirt. And he agreed to, we went over that by 700 or 800 yards. And I think this year, with the way fuel was going, I think he would have had all the right in the world to ask for a price adjustment on that 550, because it was so, several months after he had given us the price, and I think he would have been justified to get that. But he just said, we don't have the time. He said, I'll finish the subgrade, what I was supposed to get done. And then we're trying to get it wrapped up, so.
So, yeah, I guess.
Does that answer, as far
Yes,
as?
you answered all of my questions, I guess, but I'm just one person.
No,
So,
but as far as you're concerned, and you've looked into it extensively, the Menning bill, we're gonna need to put it to the voucher.
Everything that's on that bill, we have been taken care of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came under
It
how
just-
much?
$50,339.75. What the problem is just the lack of communication on a project this big. And I got one more, just Northwestern, and I know Lisa's been in contact with you about the stakes. He wanted them on the inside of the, either at the property line or on the inside, where the inside edge of the sidewalk would be, essentially, is where they want to know.
It's on the list. The property pins are there.
They're just covered.
They're just covered.
Yeah. so-
I don't know if my surveyors can be down here, but
Okay.
I could come down. Do you have a metal detector? I could come down, and with the help of maybe your staff, we can find them.
I know they
It's
want-
not gonna take very long to find.
Okay, I know they wanted to come down, like yesterday or whatever, but I suppose because of the rain, they didn't. I don't know if they showed up today or not, so that'd be great if we could just.
Because all we have to do
Just
is,
go on.
it's just gonna be those front property pins that they wanna know is, and
Yep.
if we, have a tape measure, and we can measure off the back of curb, we should find them in short order, so
If you could, that'd be
if
great.
that's something, it's up to you. If you're free tomorrow morning, or tonight,
And then if we could get, and maybe they're there, Chad, is the grade stakes for the back.
yeah,
And the reason for that is just so we know.
I know you don't wanna get too much dirt in one area, you only wanna move it once.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just wanna say too, in hindsight, which we can talk in hindsight, I probably should've, probably given an update monthly. And if I would've been asked to, I would've more than happily done it. But, hindsight's what it is.
Yep.
Well, then, going back to my other question is, what does it need yet? What has to be done?
Just dirt brought in.
Basically, them some elevation stakes in the back, and then we'll be able to get, either go out in bids or get an estimate of, or whatever, so we know how much dirt needs to be hauled in.
Yeah, so we're talking 5,000, 50,000, 500,000?
I have no
What
idea.
are we talking?
Yeah, we don't know, but that's our next step, Charlie, is either we put this out as a, out on a bid, or however it is, to get the buildings removed, the metal shed, the house that's there, and the grading on lots 10, 9, 5, 4, and I think maybe a little bit on 8, 7, and 6, and 7 and 6. I think we just need to get someone on it to give us a price of what it, what it's gonna cost, so everybody here knows, because I have no idea. We're at, we're at roughly, 19 or so in lots 10 and 9, somewhere in that area. So, those were the worst lots.
No, obviously.
So-
And we
did
did,
a lot of tree removal.
and we did resurvey the entire site before, before Kelly started.
Okay,
And so I have that information. I mean, we could retopo it again,
yeah,
to see where you're at today.
okay.
And I assume you have plenty of dirt still?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I'm totally agreeing with Charlie that I think everybody wants to know what's the final number?
What's the big number?
Yep, what is it?
We want to get to
Just take
the
care of it and get
end. We
done.
want to get to the end.
Yeah,
I want
let's
to
get
see
the end.
what's it gonna take to
Yeah,
get to the end
to
of it.
finish it.
Let's get it.
And then we'll argue about who's gonna help us get to the end of it.
Okay. But as far as Chad's concerned here, Charlie, I'm comfortable with his explanations on Manning's bill. I think he, justified what needed to be justified. Do you have any?
Does anybody else have any questions? I don't need to always go to Blaine. As far as Manning's bill I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got the voucher right here. And so, because now the blacktop bill actually came under bid, right? Is that right?
Oh, they both did.
Yeah, so it actually did come under bid, the blacktop paving company, and so that was a pleasant surprise.
Well, I thought they did a nice job of it.
They did, yeah,
Nice job of that.
yeah. So,
So you can get us our information we need, so we know how much dirt to fill it out then?
Well, we'd have to retopo it, just to compare the current elevation to the existing elevation, and then we just do a calculation, but I don't suppose we have I'm guessing we don't have any idea how much dirt's been hauled in. Maybe they have
You
a
know,
truckload.
Did you lose count?
Well, it's gotta be hundreds.
a lot. And it doesn't go far. I mean, I
80
couldn't
side
believe
dumps?
that, all that dirt, and that's what it did.
What's in a side dump? I mean,
Oh, maybe 20 yards. It just depends on how full they are, and
so.
And,
Anything else for Chad? Mr. Heavy? If not, we're gonna let him go, and then we're going to decide.
is there any questions
Comes to
also
voters.
on Blacktop's bill?
I didn't see
I didn't have
anything.
any questions on blacktops.
Yeah, I thought they did
Nice.
they did a real nice
very
job
nice
on everything,
Yeah, very nice job.
Yeah, that's
and on time.
on time, and then you don't have to give my name as a future worker there. That's tough work. That's tough work.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chad. Kelly has a note here of 30,000 yards dirt total, but I think is that possibly for the whole?
We had if I may. I need a chain, I guess, to hold these on my head. We had a total fill of 30,771 yards. Now that's That's an estimate based on shrinkage and things like
Right.
that.
And that's with bringing all the lots to grade?
That was, yes, grading the entire site to where it needs to be.
All right, okay, so.
But I can do a calculation of where it was
To now.
before Kelly started,
Mhm.
and then we'd have to topo it again to make the determination of what needs to be hauled in. Now granted, if, everybody digs a basement, you're probably gonna have 600 to 700 yards per basement, which isn't gonna go very far, but it's still dirt, and then black dirt and things like that, but
Yep.
So where did all the black dirt that you peeled off go to?
a lot of it they peeled off, stockpiled it, dug clay, and then put the black dirt back. So there might be a few piles still out there,
Yeah, there are a couple.
but, it's not like you'll see some of these places where they have huge piles of it stockpiled for the future. There just wasn't any dirt there.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Levy. Minutes of the last meeting.
Move to accept.
Do I hear a second? All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Vouchers. Guys, had enough time, you looked through them all?
Yeah, I have it right here, yeah.
Is many on
It's-
the main list?
Many's in the list there, in the voucher
Top one,
list.
top right hand corner.
Those in the pile inside.
He's got the many, Bill.
On the
So I
side,
don't remember seeing that.
you know, that's right here. Charlie's looking at me.
Well, wait in front of motion.
I'll move to accept.
Is there a second?
Your turn.
Second.
I did that.
Charlie seconded.
Yes, I did.
Oh, well.
Sorry,
Yes.
Shonwell,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner,
Yep.
Charlie Weltner,
Yes.
Garing.
No.
We'll skip on down, there's no public input, vouchers, public input, second reading ordinance, 2022-05, weeds. Need a motion to accept?
Yep.
So move.
Second?
Oh, well.
Shonwell,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner,
Yes.
Charlie Weltner,
Yes.
Garing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Second reading ordinance 2022-06, refuse rates.
Move to accept.
Second.
Charlie.
Okay.
Call one.
Elizabeth Weltner,
Yes.
Charlie Weltner,
Yes.
Garing. Sorry.
Yes.
Shonwell.
Yes.
The next one would be a first reading. That's, I don't know, that's been forever. If you read, it'll be 2022-08, 24-hour. The council basically
You forgot of
posited,
7.
excuse me,
You forgot of 7.
Budget.
Budget's,
they skip on,
Reading.
oh, I missed the budget.
I was gonna say it's-
Let's skip that down. Let's save that till after. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
The 24-hour parking. Go ahead, if you'd like to.
So, the 24-hour parking is, with the incident that we were taking care of, with the cars and stuff like that, we did write a ticket for 24-hour parking to an individual. Fink had to throw that out because on the header it says 24-hour parking. but in the verbiage, it says 72-hour parking. So it contradicts itself. We can put a time in there, however long you guys want to, we can do it that way. It doesn't have to be 24 hours, doesn't have to be 72 hours, whatever you guys want to, and then I can get with Fink and let them know that.
But they have to match.
They have to match.
We're
Yes.
basically cleaning up the ordinance book is what we're doing.
Right.
Is this one ordinance, I read there's a typo. Are you sure there's not there's not two different ordinances?
I thought we had two ordinances. I thought Main Street was 24 hours, and I thought
No.
all the secondary streets were
Yes,
72.
that we passed a year, within the last year, about the fire zone, or that.
Right.
Is there just one ordinance, and it said up on the heading, 24 hours, and then
Right.
in the body?
In the
of
body, it says
ordinance,
72
It says
hours.
72 hours, or
Yes.
3 days?
Yeah. So we just need
Okay.
to kind of
That's-
clean it up to.
I just want to make sure that's the only incorrect part of our ordinance book.
Yeah, just
You
for,
following
just.
what I'm saying?
Yep, just for that one, just for
So the choice of the
8.02.
council is just, what, you want it 24 hours? You want it 48? You want it 72?
So does this apply only to Main Street then?
This is not Main Street.
No, this is,
Apply,
Am I right?
right, it
We're
just,
not-
it applies to
this
the,
is- That's a separate ordinance that we passed, Charlie, on the fire district, or whatever you call the Main Street and so forth. That's 24 hours. That's a separate ordinance. This has been in the books forever, and it's, whenever it was put together, it said 24 hours up on top, the heading.
right, I see,
And
I
then-
see
yeah,
that, but
and
I'm
then it
looking
was
for
print-
the application.
It would be any place else, it'd be
Right.
the city limits of Freeman. It'd be the
so
city
like,
limits of
like on
Freeman.
Henry Street, if someone's parked on the road, is it gonna be 24 hours, or is it gonna be 72?
24 hours seems really short to,
Right.
We
And I
have-
get if, you park there and you go on vacation, I understand that.
yeah.
We've,
I understand 24 hours on Main Street.
yeah,
Right, so we can change this.
And I see 72 hours be at least semi-reasonable for a residential area.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what this would indicate, that this is residential area. This
this
ordinance
is,
right here.
this is everything but the fire zone.
So it should
The
stay
business district.
72 in my
So-
book, because that's what it's always been in my mind.
Okay,
And
so
that's
you
what
want,
we,
Just change the title,
yep, you just wanna keep it 72?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I would say.
Okay. Everybody good on that one? All right, I will,
3 days.
Yes.
let Fink
So
know on
it'd be
that
the
one.
first reading would be.
Right, I'll have him change this, and then we'll have a first
yeah,
reading on
put
that
it
one.
up again, but the first reading would be,
Well, you can
Yep.
have first reading now, I mean,
we'll have
okay.
first reading now,
It's fine.
it's
I'll just-
72 hours.
72 hours, okay.
I'll just put that in, that you're changing it to 72 hours.
Yep.
That's not a problem.
And it's always been, I don't know how, that was 2 years ago, it was that way.
So-
We just never bothered changing.
Yeah, so after 72 hours, then they get a warning ticket, and
Do
it's
whatever.
there, then they get a ticket, or
Well,
how are you gonna enforce that, I guess?
Well, 72 hours, we'll give it a warning ticket, or we'll contact them if it's there after that.
Yeah, okay,
It's just gonna get towed then,
okay.
because at that point, I already gave you
You gave me the
ample,
warning, yep.
ample enough time, so.
Yep, no, that's,
And on the weed ordinance, we did take care of Rolanto Street on the east side in the right-of-way. That's been taken care of. So,
Okay, all right. So that was first reading of that. We'll have first reading of the
Budget?
ordinance 2023 budget. Does anybody have a question though, council people? I have to be careful.
I think the committee did a good job putting it together. It's hard to balance a budget when you have limited funds.
But it's your budget, so
I
if you're
have
gonna
one-
speak, you better
okay.
make the change now.
well, it may or may not be a change, I don't know, this is a question to Lisa. Our 2 vehicles that we have on order, okay, have to be rebid. They're not going to be here this year, and they're not gonna honor that bid, so they have to be rebid. So do we take the funds that we set aside in streets and police and move that to next year?
I can.
That's what we should
you want me
do.
to So, but how much money?
Well, so I got with Lamb Motors, who we bid through, for the state bid for the vehicles. Dewey's truck went up 6,000, mine went up 5,000 in, from what last year's bid was. So I talked to him, and he said that the state is gonna avoid it, and it's gonna be set as a 23 instead of a 22. So we'd have to rebid everything.
So that would be.
When is their bidding date?
I want to say it's October. But as long as I think we're getting it now, it should be okay. Well, within the next,
Usually I thought they bid in early,
what was it, I think August. Oh, no, it was July.
like July.
July, yeah, the 8th.
So we're not gonna get a bill till 2023.
Right,
For sure.
right, so that's why I wanna
My
allocate
other
some
thing is,
funds.
do we know we're getting them in 2023?
I don't know.
Do we,
That's the
Rub
problem.
the crystal ball, you know. Basically, all I'm asking, Lisa, is if those funds are not gonna be spent on a truck this year.
Goes in the
it
general
will go
fund.
into cash reserves?
Okay,
Okay?
okay,
And then you can make a motion to accept a bid for these trucks,
Mhm.
and then in that motion, you just use
Cash
cash
reserves.
reserves. And then when we get them, we'll do a supplemental budget.
okay, so there's nothing needed to be done now.
There shouldn't be. I mean, you don't have to. We
Just-
can adjust it, but we don't know for sure we're getting
Right,
them.
right, and we don't know the exact price either. So with Dwayne and Scott here, that they just need to know that we just need to take that out of their budget so they don't have that, so they don't spend that, I guess is what I'm trying to say, this year.
This year, right.
And he has the trucks, they just didn't go into the production to get them fixed out,
Mhm.
so.
But whatever, so we're not getting them this year. All right, that's
Right.
the answer to my question, Lisa, thank you.
Anybody else? Department, there's a question. Okay?
Looks good. Do we need a motion to
Mis-
accept?
No.
No, it's first reading.
Next meeting.
It'll be the next, and that's why you really can't change a whole lot at the second reading, so that's why I'm,
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Gang, you know about Lot H1 plat?
Yeah. Everybody look at your sheet there, that's that little triangle that's in the circle here represents the area of elevator property that will become public right-of-way, and all we need is a motion to accept this plat. And I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any other questions?
It'll make the street straight again.
Make the street straight is basically what you're saying.
Yep.
Call roll, please.
Charlie Waltner?
Yes.
Gehring?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Schoenwald?
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner?
Yes.
Last Friday? When did Cody? 10 days ago? I don't know what the date was. We received Cody
last week.
Franson's resignation. It'll be effective this Friday, am I correct? Would be his last day. So we argued about this and I lost, so I need a motion to accept the resignation.
I just got a quick question.
Sure.
On that. I talked with Cody, as some others have too, and he's willing to put in some part-time, fill-ins when he can or would like to.
Yeah, I think we need to accept, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, do we
And I think
accept
we
it,
need to
or-
go into
Yes.
executive session and discuss how we're
We
gonna
can't
handle
just
that.
convert them into
You need to
part-time.
accept his resignation as a full-time employee,
Okay,
okay?
Let's do that,
And
and then we'll
then-
go into executive session and there'll be there's
got
a
it.
whole bunch of things.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
get
my
it. Yep, no-
recommendation.
Yep, no problem. No problem.
So, was there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Cody's resignation.
Second.
Call roll.
Gehring?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Schoenwald?
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner?
Yes.
Charlie Waltner?
Yes.
The audit report, everybody should have received a copy. There really wasn't any, this was, it's my third audit report, and actually, it's probably the best one we've ever received, surprisingly. I'm sorry, your mayor does not have to go to jail yet.
Maybe next time.
No, seriously, I thought for sure we'd be in trouble this year with the
So
change,
everything
all
looked
the
good, I
changing
guess?
with. Was there anything, there was nothing,
We got, we did let for bids for life packs for the ambulance. That was the kind of the only really main thing. There was some other things that they brought up when they were here, but they didn't write us up for them, so
So
I wasn't gonna
the
worry
life
about
packs for the ambulance, you were supposed to put that out on bids?
it was over 50,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did not realize that there's different bid
Bid
limits
levels.
on
Yep.
different things. I
So
thought
that falls under the 50,000.
Yes, equipment,
I thought
and
everything was 100.
supplies.
Okay.
Improvements falls under
100.
100,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an improvement.
Yeah, so we missed that
No.
one, so.
That's interesting, okay. Well, good.
All right, do we need to accept that? No.
Okay.
So you have a copy. Main Street update? Do you have anything, Dewey?
Not very much. They got all the water mains laid and the sewer mains laid. They're just waiting. All the taps on the sewers are all tied up. Taps for water, they're waiting to get their water samples with a good positive that they can drink it, and then they'll hook them all up. About all they have left is to do the storm sewer. And they should be able to be putting gravel on that road.
On our meeting last Friday, they had mentioned something about the, I think, Third Street there to replace the saddle at that time, you know, when you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Once we get to 4th Street and 3rd Street, after what we seen of the saddles,
Yeah,
it's foolish not when they got everything ripped up, just dig down and replace the saddles.
As long as we're on that subject, this, if we skip on down, the next item on the agenda would be to add a, was water hookup and sewer hookup, even though there's nothing there now, the elevator site.
Not a thing.
And the recommendation, you got a price there?
Yeah, everybody's tab sheet. Change order estimate of $5,890.
So we don't know what the future holds and what's gonna go there, but
Where
if
the
something
elevator
would go.
was.
Huh?
Where the
Where the elevator was, there is not.
I
I
don't-
think it's ever gonna pay, and anybody's gonna build in that little square?
Well, if you stop and think about it, you know, if, say, AMPI gets that piece of property and say they add a warehouse there, it would be, they'd probably want to put a bathroom in or a floor drain.
right. just for
And we
future.
really don't want
No.
them cutting
Into the
into
street.
Main Street.
Got it.
And they don't want to
Into a
run.
brand-new Main Street to do
You
that, and I'm sure
you
they
get
don't.
almost to anyone that even buys that property from us, goes to MPI, squares it off and builds a big shed in there.
Or if they'd ever, yeah, tear
That's
down.
kind of
the
why I
other
brought it
shed
up the last time.
I get it.
Dewey brought it up last time, and I know.
We've had so many people, why did we put water in their lots, or why do we put water and sewer in there? I know we had one down there. It's because we don't want somebody in 5 years to rip up Main Street.
Right.
And it happens all the time.
Do you need a motion to do this? I'll make a motion
It would
to,
be a change order, I guess.
I'll make a motion to accept the change order for the water and sewer hookup on the elevator property site there.
Is it,
Second.
Sorry,
Yes.
Schoenwald,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner,
Yep.
Charlie Weltner,
Yes.
Gehring.
because there are basically two things that we kind of changed down there. The hydrant that was by lumberyard, that was right in the middle of their lot. We moved that down to their little storage building, so it's behind the curb. And then they've got all their parking, and then their drainage and their sump pumps, they're gonna bring in an 8-inch pipe to it like they did with everyone to get rid of the water that sits out in front that freezes.
Which goes into the storm sewer then.
Well, wasn't that part of, I don't know if that's part of the design.
We talked about it with Paul, but it wasn't in there, and they're right there, and it's just a matter of bringing it up over.
So what's happening with the sidewalks in front of stores?
They're supposed to be here tomorrow. They were supposed to be here today with the rain Monday.
It was supposed to be here last week.
Yeah, but they've changed a few different things in there.
The,
Kind of look for them tomorrow. They got rained out in Sioux Falls, and they were supposed to finish up Monday.
and that the contractor called at the meeting on Friday, and he said he was gonna have 2 crews down
Yep.
today, but and from my understanding that it just got delayed.
They got rained out at Sanford today, yesterday.
So he'll have 2 crews.
When we got to the rain yesterday, we figured they were gonna get delayed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we should expect that to be done.
If they would get here, it's gonna be very quick.
Yeah, it'll go quick. It'll go quick.
And then it's kind of open for business again, right?
Mhm.
You can open up the street and do everything.
It's nice to be able to drive through right now.
It was nice to have the
new.
intersections.
That's nice. Just to get it through town a lot
Much
easier.
easier to get home.
It all drains, the half-inch of rain we had goes right in their
It
little,
does, yeah.
and there are no big ponds anywhere. It's,
Anything else for Dewey?
I just mentioned it, I see that the chip sealing got done, and that's done for the year, because that's all we could get, so.
but I
All
have
right.
noticed there's a lot of holes coming out again.
Mhm.
Get a little rain and potholes all over again, especially down around here where everyone's driving.
And when the ground dries out that much, it shrinks and then everything breaks apart.
Yeah, Fifth Street by Janver, there wasn't nothing there, and the last week there's holes all over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gehring? Anything else? Tabitha? Ms. Edelman?
Lions Club, we would like to add Mark Herbert as a member of the Tree City Board from the Lions Club itself, we're into Tree City, so we need a motion for that, to add him into the committee.
Is there money there in the budget?
No, there's no money. He's one of the board members.
Oh, you want to add, but we don't have a Tree City. If you don't have a budget, you're not going to have a Tree City. It's $2 a head. All I'm saying is you're going to have to.
We missed that on the budget. We didn't have it on the budget
We
line
did, we
for
took it off last year.
I know, but we put it
If you-
back in. Yeah.
Is it in the budget?
Can't we put it in with parks, out of parks?
I think,
It's just a line item.
as I understand it, I might be wrong. It's $2 a head.
No, I understand that.
$2,500
Right,
is
and we
what
just
we
take
took it
that out
off.
of parks.
You need to put it in, and then you can become a member of Tree City again.
Right, well, we have reestablished ourselves as that
Yeah, I think we did that, like,
last.
Within
no,
the
this
last year.
Yeah. We just moved the money out of parks to cover that.
But I would check on, because I believe Tree City wants to see something in your budget that you have, but
Well, can we add that into the budget since this is first reading?
you could take $2,500 out of parks and pools, and it's
Right.
always been a separate heading. I think Tree City, whoever they are.
I know
They
that.
wanna
I'm
see
just
that.
saying, I know that, but my question is, can we add that into the budget for 2022? I mean, since this is first reading.
Yes, yes, you can.
Then let's do that.
Better now than the next one.
And then add that in, because we want to continue to be Tree City.
So how much money am I putting in the budget for Tree City?
What is the population of Freeman?
1305 or something?
1350, something like that.
Okay.
So $2,700, 13 lot of parks to pools will cover it.
But you gotta check with, they're taking her money, you gotta ask her nicely.
He's on there too.
That's where most of the trees end up anyway, is in the parks, so it's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lisa, I missed that.
Yeah, okay?
I'm fine.
You know,
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I missed it on the budget.
anything else, Charlie?
There was something else, but I can't remember what it was now.
I'll come back to you. How's that be?
That's fine.
Elizabeth?
I guess I just had a business owner approach me, looking for more development things with Main Street when it reopens. So I think I saw that Carol wrote in her newsletter about the September thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's some
Plans.
hopefulness
Mhm.
there, or that there might be some kind of unveiling stuff roll out.
Yeah, I've had somebody ask me to, wanting to do like another reopening kind of thing, since they've been struggling here while this has been going on, so.
Yeah, they deserve something, yeah, absolutely. Want to just compliment the Freeman Fire Department. They put on a good event. I was unable to attend it, but I drove by late and there was a lot of people there. I drove by 10:30, 11 o'clock the next day and it was spotless. So they did a good job, very good job. And I think everything else has been covered, so.
Chief Burr, do you have anything else?
I actually have a few things. Charlie, can you bring that map up?
Yeah.
Do you want to do this?
I can't see it either.
I know, that's
All I
what,
saw was a bunch of red dots.
I know, that's why I had it. See if he can make it bigger.
Your phone has a zoom function.
It's,
Yeah,
Old man like me.
it's really tiny.
that's what I did too, laughed.
I didn't pass it out because it's,
Where do you want to start, Mr. Freeman?
so we'll start on Cedar Street. So Elizabeth, I got your email about the crosswalk going across Cedar.
Yeah,
So we took that out.
okay. I wasn't sure if that was, someone had told me that speed limit was once because there was a daycare there,
Correct.
but.
Yeah,
correct.
and we took the speed limit out and the, whatever crosswalk, because they were gonna put that in, and we took that out.
The daycare, was this by the church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The daycare might go back there though,
That's
Okay.
right.
because they won't be in the school after this year.
I don't think they're going back there, though.
No?
I
Okay,
just, today I asked.
okay,
I
okay.
don't think so.
All right.
Sounded like to me that they do not put the school signs up on daycares or,
Correct. They do not put daycares on, or signs for daycares, just for schools. We changed a lot of the speed limit signs. A lot of them are staying the same, like on 6th Street, Cedar, North and South County Road. We did put some truck route signs in on 4th Street. If there's anything else that you guys see that you might need to.
Emergency route. Where's our emergency route?
Is that Webb Street?
6th Street, Cherry
Cherry.
Street, 7th Street.
Is that even on there?
Glad he brought that up because I didn't think any of that.
What about Walnut Street with the hospital? I mean,
Cherry,
yeah.
Walnut, yep,
So Cherry,
6.
Walnut, and 6th.
Make it a little bigger for you.
And that's the emergency route, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
7th.
Yep, 7, there you go.
Yeah, Walnut.
Oh, come on, don't reload.
And 7th. Okay.
If you start on North County Road, we didn't have any of the speed limit signs there before, and they've got all 20. So when you come in there, you know.
From the west, you mean?
Right, so when I talked to, is it Yuletag?
Yep.
Okay, so they will only put them in at the, when you're coming off of a main road, they won't put them through the whole town. It'll just be coming off of north, south, Cedar and 81.
Yeah.
North County Road is 20 miles an hour?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
It's when you're coming off of North County, you
All
go.
tickets?
Yeah, it's,
Juniper, Main, King Street, to me, it's popular.
yeah.
I thought we
Cherry,
changed that once.
we did. They still get King Street on.
Yeah, but I thought we made it all popular.
So they won't even do the 20 miles when you come off of Sixth Street to side streets?
Nope.
Nope. Once you hit the town, like, when you're coming in on Sixth Street, when it says 25, that's actually gonna stay the same. It changes when you get into, I think it's Fifth and Sixth, it'll turn to 20.
I mean,
But-
when you turn off of Sixth Street to the side streets.
Only when you
No,
enter
it-
town.
Yeah. Anywhere coming off a main road,
So
then you'll see this.
that really doesn't fix your problem, because you were saying the reason you wanted the 20-mile-an-hour speed zone was to,
Right, so if you're coming in off a North County Road, let's say, and you're turning on to DeWalt, there'll be a 20-mile-an-hour sign there. That's for that whole road.
Yeah.
And
They
they
don't-
will put that in because you're exiting.
right, but if I'm driving down Sixth Street at 25 mile an hour and I turn on to DeWalt, I'm gonna think it's 25.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask them if they can put it in, but they usually don't put them in on other
I'm
streets.
just gonna go backwards and kick the can. The can is, I think.
I agree. How do you know?
How do you know?
How do you know?
Yeah,
I think it needs to be one speed limit
For all.
for all, other than posted, you know, which would be North County Road, South County Road,
yeah, those are all staying the same.
and the entrance on Sixth Street, which is,
You have that, you guys voted on the 20-mile-an-hour in.
I know we did,
That's why
but what
we're
I'm
trying
saying
to
is, I
get the
think that's a
signs.
mistake.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to, I showed you the map so you can see it.
But Charlie's point is if we can't put it on Sixth Street, then we either have to buy the signs and pay them ourselves, or
Okay.
go back and make everything 25 so it's consistent.
So you want a sign on each street coming off of Sixth Street? I can ask them if they can do that. 'cause
Both
that's-
ways.
Both ways.
I wanna make it 25 all over,
Yeah, that's,
instead of two different speeds.
Well, we could just make Sixth Street 20.
There are houses off of that street. I mean, it's.
I would agree with that. If you wanna make it difficult, Charlie, you,
Street.
once you get from the 30 mile an hour, you drop down to 20.
Yeah.
Then everything,
It's 35, isn't it? Or 30?
Yeah, it's
35
supposed
by,
to
like the furniture store?
yeah, it's 35
And
and then
then
it's,
someplace there it turns.
but that's not even posted at 35 right now.
No, there is no post, you turn off
Yeah, there's,
81.
yeah, when you come
Yes,
off
so
81, there's nothing.
I'm going 45, I'm just going down Sixth Street.
We know you speed, Lisa.
They are, according to people there, so. they're
So we
both-
know Lisa's vehicle's going over 35.
Yeah.
write that down, ask if they can put them on the streets.
Let's go on.
And then where is the
Coming off of
sign?
Sixth Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure I'm
What's
right.
the
Okay.
fifteen?
Off of the main,
purple
that's
road
20.
right there, that's
That's,
North County Road.
that's North County Road.
So there's no sign saying speed limit coming in that road if you're going
Well, there'll be a 20
across, but like, what about if you're coming in from the west?
from here.
Yeah.
There's
There
a
should be a
30
sign
right about
over
there.
here.
Yeah, there's a 30 mile an
There's a
hour right
30.
there.
That's on the county, isn't it? Or
Yep,
is that-
that's the
That's the county, so that's
Okay.
not
So
on
it's
this
just
map.
not pictured because it's somewhere.
So you'll see that when the county redoes theirs,
Right.
they'll all get set with the counties.
Okay.
So, any input on how you want the truck route? You gonna keep it the same, or how you guys wanna do that?
Where the truck route.
I want it to go by your house.
So
You wanna share the trucks, is that what you're saying, Charlie?
the truck route is Sixth Street.
Sixth,
Seventh
Fifth,
Street.
I figured out what the
Seventh.
white line is.
What's the 15 on
That's
Sixth
this.
Street? Yeah, that one.
That's a school sign.
That's a
School.
school. So on Sixth Street, when they leave off of Whip Street, it's a school crossing right there.
When children are present, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So that shouldn't be just.
And that'll say 15 when children
When they're
present.
present.
Okay.
Are you confused?
Capiche?
She asked me, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
pointing
just-
it out.
It's there now, right?
So we put the truck route back the way you guys voted 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a need to change it.
No,
Well, we just added some signs in. They didn't have a few signs on Cherry Street going into Railway. They didn't have a truck route there, so we added that on there.
Do you have some no trucks?
Yes,
Yep.
so.
Fourth Street.
Fourth
Yeah,
Street,
That's a bad one.
when you're coming in off of 81,
Yeah.
going west, there'll be
Yeah.
a no truck sign there. There at Cherry and Fifth, going north, there'll be a no truck sign there.
Okay.
Should be one on
One
Stadium
north?
Drive.
Is there one on there?
You get a lot that come to the school that,
And
you
they-
don't need a loaded side dump driving down Stadium Drive.
Okay, yeah, it's,
Mm.
is that,
Right
is that the no,
there.
is that a no truck sign right there
That-
on Stadium? Okay.
And South
And-
County's on who? County or us? South County?
County, on the
That's
County.
county.
Yeah, they did have a couple 15-mile-an-hour signs there on North County Road. I had them take off,
South County.
or South County Road. Because all that, that's usually just buses that come in through there, so,
Well,
or
that's-
leaving,
That's
so,
before there was a fence there.
yeah. So we had that taken off.
that,
Any chance we can get the speed limit thing on Walnut before school starts tomorrow?
Probably not. Not till spring. That's their date is the spring of next year.
no,
Like your
No,
mobile
there's
one.
speed limits.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
the one that flashes and tells you
I
you're
stand
going too
outside and
fast.
yell at people to slow down, but I don't think they hear me.
Do
You
you
gotta,
want,
act like a crazy
I
woman
yell.
right in the
I'm like,
middle
slow
of the road.
down.
just go out and wave your arms.
Yeah. I'm gonna start like.
What's important is that you distract them when
Yes,
they're going too
right,
fast.
I'm sure.
So they actually hit a kid?
So they-
There's no kids when I yell.
And
So,
we
yeah, I
have
can-
one that's, we've got the handicap one on Albert, we gotta put that in ourselves.
Yeah, so they don't put in certain signs. That's one of them. Now, if Dewey's nice enough to the guy, he can actually put like a small post in there for him. So,
A handicap on Albert.
so,
Wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. anything else?
It's pretty crazy when you get down there. and
Yeah.
they-
It's hard to look at when it's real tiny. It's hard to look at when it's huge, but
Is it on there?
No, they won't put it in.
No, so that's not on this map.
right. So,
But we're hoping we can sweet talk and put the
Post in for you.
And we'll put the post in when they're done.
Yep.
We asked them about Sixth Street and they bolt all, or Main Street, they bolt all the things in. We're gonna put sleeves in there. And they said they bolt all
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
like
They
in.
drill them and
it's like a triangle and they put it in there, so if something gets hit,
it snaps the bolt.
It's a breakaway.
Yeah, it's a breakaway.
It's a safety post. All posts, whether they're out on the highway or county road or in the street, they're all have a maximum thickness and a maximum breaking point. So it takes a certain amount of force to break them, but no more, because otherwise you really create
Do
problems.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to tear out, two things, the car or the people, and also start tearing off the street too.
so, is there anything else you guys need to change, add?
We will after they're put up.
Pretty much, that's what he told me.
Just make it 25 all around town, it'll be fine.
Well, then when you do that, people do 35.
Well, they're doing 35 now, what's the difference?
Yeah, let's go to 20 so you
Got
can
a
take it.
few.
Let's go to 20 so you can give them all tickets.
I didn't notice the typos.
Street committee, do you have any additions or corrections?
I think, as far as I can see, they did a good job with them.
I'm sure it won't be 100%, but
No,
we'll
no.
get, if we get
Well, it's gonna
95,
be
that
nice
would
to
be
see nice
wonderful.
When you
clean
come-
signs again.
When you come in onto Main,
On Fifth.
there's a 20, no, off of North County. Is there one that drops it down?
Nope.
It's 20 all the way down Main?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's there now.
That's basically the only
Yeah.
street in town that we had a 20-mile-an-hour speed
Oh, okay,
limit on.
okay.
Till now.
Always had a
Okay.
20.
Yeah, but
Now
now,
it's
but
I
now
was
it's
thinking
all.
it's
now
15
it's
for some
all-
reason, but okay.
And this is part of that grant?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these will be
That
all
was supposed to
paid,
been done
these are all,
years ago.
these will be all paid for and put up?
Mhm.
And straight.
And when they're the-
Yeah.
Now,
The catch is we have to maintain it,
Okay,
which means we have to replace it.
place them, yeah.
which is
Yeah,
no different than what we're doing now.
All the signs we have are not
Ah.
even anything close to these. These are all DOT standard, which we had before and they changed it all.
Sure.
So they're bigger.
And it's street signs also, or just, it's not
Yes.
street signs?
Yes, street signs.
They do the street signs.
Yes.
They are on here.
Very clearly.
Juniper and
Yellow,
Fifth?
green.
I don't see the numbers, I don't see Papa Green.
I thought
Hopefully we
that,
can salvage our fenials
But
off
it's-
the top to put them back on, can't we?
We should be able to.
That's what I hope so. Ricky would want us to, I would too.
Do we know when they're doing this?
Sometime in the spring.
Maybe next year.
Of what year?
So,
I talked to Chad, that's doing the map and stuff. He said that a lot of the smaller towns, they're having a little trouble with. Freeman, so far, they haven't had any problems with getting information and stuff
oh,
like that.
getting the information they need to do the signage,
Yep.
we've been okay with that.
We've been okay. If you go down, Charlie, down to College and Classy. So I put in, Dewey asked me to put the curve signs in, is that right?
Yep,
Okay.
Oh.
The only thing
okay,
I didn't
where
do
we
was-
added that street.
yep.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do was actually put the street in, which I don't understand, but,
You missed the stop sign on College and right there, straight up, up.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Not too far, yeah, right there.
There.
oh, is that College and?
Yeah, you missed the stop
Oh,
sign
it's a
there.
T.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Technically, it's supposed to be.
so is that,
So we can take a note.
what is that at?
College and Cherry.
Cherry.
Although it's technically, you could drive into Kenny's yard.
Now, is the stop sign going
And there
College West and the stop sign there?
No, there should be a curve sign there, because that does go around by
Actually-
Kenny's.
on the south.
This stop sign could disappear now because that used to be a T, right? Or do you
He
still
needs
want
a
it?
stop sign on new Classic Street.
At the end of it.
Well, when they come down there and make the curve and they don't see a stop sign, they just drive, yep,
Okay, so where are we talking at?
right there, on the
That
other
one's-
side.
You want one on the other side?
Yep,
So Classy going into? what is that?
into DeWalt.
So there is where you want it over there,
Yeah.
right?
You didn't hear us talk about that one.
No. Classy and DeWalt?
Mhm.
And you want that on the south side?
Yep.
And then on the Classy and Cherry, at that T, which side you want it on?
Just that.
That
one
would
there.
be on the southeast side. Be on other side, down right there. You gotta stop on that side.
Oh, you're talking about when
College,
you're going
yep.
north?
College's got the curve like Casey's or Fifth Street.
Okay,
They have the right of way there.
okay. Other than that, then we just need the emergency.
There always was a stop sign there. I don't know if that got knocked down.
And then just the emergency routes, signs on Cherry, Walnut, 6th and 7th.
Yep. And
Okay.
some truck routes on Cedar Street. Don't see them coming off the South County Road.
In like the westward view, coming off the road with the cul-de-sac,
The
do
stop sign.
we need to stop there?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask about that.
Yep.
So when you're coming out of the
Stop or
subdivision,
yield sign.
When you're coming out of the subdivision and then
This would
also
be
when
one
you're
for
in
the-
it, coming off that cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
yeah, do you wanna stop or yield?
I don't live
That's
there.
maybe
Yeah.
You guys.
appropriate for a yield.
That's
and
a stop,
cul-de-sac.
actually. Because it's a stop coming on from any street, isn't it? Coming on to the county or Cedar Street.
No, we're
Oh, we're
talking,
talking in
we're
the-
talking
Oh, in the,
Inside.
oh,
the
inside.
cul-de-sac coming back down to Westwood.
Like the yield.
South.
I'm fine with the yield, but
I'm fine with the yield there too.
whatever anybody else wants.
And that's coming off of, onto Cedar.
Put a stop
No,
sign
on,
on Cedar.
Westwood.
Yeah.
Within the westward.
Oh, when you've got the
Cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac and you
Yep.
come
Yep.
out, okay.
Yep.
But coming out of Westward onto Cedar.
Stop.
Cedar, so you
wanna
wanna stop,
sign.
okay.
And then you need a sign at the end for the hammerhead or the, whatever you wanna call it.
Oh, yeah.
Dead
Yes,
end.
dead end,
Well, at the very end?
yeah, the T.
Do you put a dead end on the cul-de-sac too?
No,
No?
No?
I don't think so. 'Cause you can turn-
Because you can just turn around.
Stop at.
Yeah, it should be no turnaround, but you can go up there and back up and turn around.
Yeah,
But there's definitely a dead end sign needs to be up.
Mhm.
yeah, it did.
Unless someone goes over the
No,
exit.
no outlet, no
And
outlet.
you need a speed
Yep.
limit sign in
Yeah.
there? Too?
Oh, technically, because you're coming off of,
No, the county should put that one in, yeah, we should be able to.
Is that a quarter mile long?
into our,
Yeah.
It is.
Charlie can get her up there.
I wouldn't want to come off the end.
I don't wanna go off the end, though.
No. Well, if you can't see the cornfield by the
No.
time you hit the end. Since we got it up, Main Street from Fifth to Railway, what do you guys think about putting a double yellow line in there so there's no U-turns? And the reason I say that is because a lot of our collisions are right there because people are making U-turns into the parking spaces in front of the businesses.
Well, then we do
Well,
that.
what do we do though about corner intersections? Can we do U-turns at the intersections, or how do you handle that then?
Actually, you're not supposed to make a U-turn in an intersection. Just like when you're going through a city at the lights, when you have stoplights, you can't make a U-turn unless it's posted.
But there was always a U-turn as far
Yeah,
as, by the API.
Yep, that's always been a U-turn, and then also the U-turn always used to be at the far end of Main Street.
Right, by Jammer, yep.
But I think you make a U-turn at any of the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it happening all the time.
Can't anymore with the bump outs.
You're not gonna make them,
Drive over.
you're not gonna make them.
On,
Well, there'll be some that will.
Well,
API there,
AMPI, you probably.
you know that one, that,
And the
that's
signing
where,
can
that's
help
where, it always was, right
I mean,
there.
if you want, I could have them put one in.
I mean, that's where, I remember it all the time. If you have a designated area, then that's where
Well, I
they do
think
what
a
they want.
person should almost, because otherwise it's
They're
gonna be.
doing it, yeah.
all the
That,
time.
that's
Go
a
around.
real pain in the butt, though, and you, I was in a town this last week where you drive down Main Street, okay, there's where I wanna go, okay, so down to the end of the block, oh, guess what? I can't make a U-turn, now I
Mhm.
gotta go drive around that block
Yep.
and come all the way back on that side of the street so I can park.
But if we put it at the end, if we put it by AMPI and keep it there, at least you
Yeah,
have
then
to
you
go
can
to.
You have a designated
U-turn
area.
there.
No, they had a sign that said no U-turn.
Yeah,
No.
but,
yeah.
But if you want to put a U-turn sign there, we can.
I
yeah, I'd vote to put a U-turn by AMPI.
API.
What about by Fifth Street?
Fifth
Mhm.
and
There's
Main.
that stop sign, there's stop signs there.
There's-
It's messy already.
That's,
And then you add a U-turn in there.
yeah, that's
So
gonna be, that'd be
Railway and
messy.
Main.
If you don't put a
You know what I
sign,
mean?
you can do a U-turn.
There's a stop sign.
Make sure the yellow line doesn't go that far past, right, Dewey?
I don't think you need one, I think you just leave it the way it is.
Mhm.
I don't think we need to sign it, I think you just leave it the way it is.
Okay.
We can do that too. It's up to you.
don't put a U-turn sign in, and still do the double yellow lines.
They just go up to Railway. and
Right.
You can
I
make
think
that
the,
U-turn.
I think a U-turn sign by railway for sure. And then if you don't have one on the other end, then it doesn't say no U-turn.
Well, I don't think you need a U-turn because the only time you need one is a no U-turn.
No U-turn.
But if he's saying we're not supposed to make a U-turn at any intersection,
That's that
That's
east,
in-
I
that's-
see what you're saying.
that's that
Yeah.
East Coast thing, just ignore it.
I'll just do a U-turn in front of Charlie.
There you go.
you won't
All
care.
right.
I would like to see what the bump outs are gonna do. I think that's gonna be self-explanatory.
Yep.
I really do.
Yeah.
I'd have to drive it to, you know,
Mhm.
like Charlie said, there's gonna be somebody.
Someone's gonna go over it, there's no question in my mind
But I
on
think that
that.
would,
Well, you just want to wait till they
You
get
get
put
the
in and see what
sidewalks
they
in
look
there
like.
when they start going up, it's gonna be, you're gonna see
You're
you're
gonna
not
see
gonna
it.
turn it. Unless you got a car like Doug Euchre has, one of them little things that can
Little go-kart.
sit right in the middle of the road and do the U-turn.
anything else?
I do have, so the Lions Club sign at, on Sixth Street in front of the warehouse, there at Sixth and Rolanto. So Tim wants that moved. from East River. Sam was wondering if we can place that somewhere else on Sixth Street.
That sign is old.
Yeah.
That's an old
Isn't
sign.
that up to the Lions Club?
No, they're
It's
looking for a
gonna be
place
up
to
to
put
you
it.
guys where you wanna put it, cause he wants to keep
We
it on Sixth
could
Street.
we put it on our drainage area?
Down, on the other side, or on the other side of East River?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's our property, right? I'm not gonna ask, unless they wanna ask someone who's got property, but I mean, that's public right of way. I'd have no problem with
You
it.
put it by the memorial too, if you wanted to do that.
Put it in the front, or either put it on width, or
Yeah.
on the. That's up to you,
Yeah, it'd
that's your
be
guys'
better
call.
down by the
I'd
retention.
I'd prefer not to put something in front of the memorial. I think
Yeah.
that just would not be proper place to put signage.
Okay. So at the pond?
Yeah, I would say.
That would be fine, I'd be fine with that.
Would that be right where all the church signs are?
Yeah, I think the first, I don't know if that's what Anderson's property or if that's our.
Needs a new sign, that's what it
Kepler's
needs.
not,
Yeah.
what's kept-
next one beside us.
Yeah, is
That's
that,
Kepler's.
who owns that now? Is
I
that-
think Kepler's,
Still, they do, okay.
unless they sold it to Honison's
That's
last
what I was just
time,
wondering if they did sell it, but.
Cleo owned that.
But if it puts it on our public, it's fine, then we don't have to have them ask someone, and then that could become a problem if they ever sell the property.
Well, it would, don't set the precedent for just any sign, no, it should be a non-profit.
Non-profit, absolutely, I mean. They'd have to come to us anyway for permission.
Anything else?
Yep, I got a few things, sorry.
Hurry up.
Sorry to take your time. So I know we talked about the jurisdictional process, getting called out for, so I checked with Seth. He got with the state insurance, and he said she said there's no issue with that. But I did get with the county and say, hey, if there is anything, call us if you can't make it there in time, and we'll go out there. But she said that, they go by territory, they don't go by jurisdiction for the insurance stuff. So in case anything happens, we're covered under that. So I just wanted to let you know on that.
Well, how big is our territory then?
Yeah, that's,
That's something, that's way above my pay grade. Yes.
like a couple miles out, or, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
2 or 3 miles out.
yeah.
You find that out after the claim.
Yeah, and she said, like she said, she would, if there was any issues, that they would look at the claim and stuff like that, but
But
most
for
of the time,
example, there
we're,
was a situation out on the curves on 81. Okay, so that.
south or north?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, either way. So that's probably too far.
Yeah,
You
the
wouldn't-
furthest I would probably go up is 44 or.
44, 81,
Yeah.
3 miles, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, because, because if they get a call in, and, I mean, they would get I'm assuming a sheriff or highway patrolman to go in to get it
Yep.
in there.
yeah.
Okay.
Unless they call for assistance, then, so.
Well, and obviously you have to use your discretion.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, right,
If
exactly.
it's a Freeman school bus that tipped over with a bunch of kids in there,
Yep,
I'd
yep.
say he could go out there and help.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So, okay. And Tabitha, is there any way we can mark the campground lots with numbers?
Oh,
Spray
yeah,
paint.
Carol said something about that last year too. We talked about like,
We-
because there are
we-
posts there
we-
or no?
We actually need to
No.
do some
Oh,
looking
no,
at the,
on the
Listen.
concrete, we were gonna,
There's a concrete border there.
yeah.
Sweep it off, get a stencil, some white paint, stencil
we just need to look at the whole camp area and look at it and it needs some upgrading.
Okay.
But a simple would be, like you said, we can spray paint it for the
There
time.
has been problems out there as far
Well,
as
so we actually have a camper there now. It's been there before the Chislik Festival. Now, I don't know the particulars on this.
Is it on this end?
It's towards the volleyball court.
There's nothing, does it have any, oh,
Is there
and
someone in
nothing-
it, or is it just parked?
No, there's someone in it.
nothing to do with the contractors?
No.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we have contractors that actually use it.
Well, there was at one
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
that's why.
So from what I understand, it's someone that's employed at the golf course. I don't know if they were given permission to park there until the end of the golf season, but,
I'll take care of it.
okay. I mean, I
are they
understand as long as they're
They're
paying,
Yeah, okay.
but I know the
The rules
regulations
are-
are 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if they're gonna be there for extended time, I think that they should probably come in and talk to you guys
Yeah.
and say, can we extend this, so.
Yeah, because I know we've had contractors doing jobs in town that.
Well, Reedy was here, had his trailer
Yeah.
here for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
I guess I never.
I mean,
knew it
I'm
was
fine
here
with that, though.
longer.
Yeah.
The
What is
downside
it,
is it.
2 weeks?
Tie it up.
yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I just didn't wanna
that's
go
fine.
make a scene and they're allowed to be there, so.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
No, that's it?
That's all?
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, quick meeting. Scott took care of that.
Next meeting is, I believe we got everything, don't we, Ms. Haley? Next meeting is September 6th, 6:30. We need to go into executive session.
So moved to get an executive session for personnel and pending litigation.
Second.
Thank you, sir.
Aye.
Oh, I.
You stay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see.
Oh,